welcome to another installment of editorial content. This next topic's a biggie. I was going to do it as a full episode of my upcoming show, the Strawberry Dragon Project, like the review show, but I had some false starts trying to film it. There were some problems or whatever with the footage I recorded, so in the end I just decided to start this new show, Editorial Content, and this topic in particular I think is better suited to something like this. So even though I may have procrastinated so long, at least I'm getting it out in some form, which is a lot more than I could say for Mega Man Legends 3. Yes, if you hadn't heard already, Mega Man Legends 3 was a title for the 3DS which was announced in October of 2010, but development was cancelled, killed off in July of 2011. Now, I was not that interested in the project at first, seeing as how I don't own a 3DS, and I only had a passing interest. I wasn't gonna pre-order it or wait for it on the first day or whatever. I would have gotten to it at some point. I've played the first two Legends games and they were okay. But the thing is, the last game, Mega Man Legends 2, came out in the PlayStation in 2000. That's 11, going on 12 years by now. And from what I understand, it ended on a pretty bad cliffhanger, so yeah, this is a pretty deep wound for Capcom to have cut into us. No, I know, I've heard some of the naysayers to think they're saying it's a good thing this was cancelled. They're saying no one wanted it, not anymore, everyone knows about it, and it wasn't that good to begin with. Well, they were charting new territory on this. This was the first Legends game on a new console, being the 3DS, so with 10 years having passed and possibly the developers having a chance to borrow concepts from other games, who knows what it could have been like. Yeah, seriously, who knows? But that's just it. Capcom may have been disinterested in this project from the get-go because not only were the previous Legends games rather modest in sales, I hear they only made 200,000 copies sold for each of them worldwide, I read somewhere. And B, it was going to be for the 3DS. It was announced before the console was released, so they had no metric to judge ahead of time how well it would do. And of course, now the 3DS sales are picking up. They discounted the price of the thing in America down by $80, so they're running out of excuses at this point. More than anything, I disapprove of the killing of Legends 3 on principle. See, apart from this being a conclusion to how we ended Legends 2, I haven't beaten that game, by the way. What they did during the development of Legends 3 was open up this site called the Dev Room, a forum of sorts wherein people from all over the world could contribute ideas, concept art, things like that. They even held some character contests, design contests, stuff like that. And now all of their work has gone to waste. Yeah, I wasn't part of the dev room, but I'm starting to feel their pain more and more. And to make matters worse, they had announced a demo, a prototype version for the 3DS online shop. And I heard they were almost finished. They were finished and were about to push it out the door when they said, nope, we're killing the whole thing. And that is effed up. Why? Not only was the thing finished before you buried it, but you were going to charge $1, $2 or something for this. So not only would you have been able to gauge interest in the final project, which is what I think you wanted which is why you set up the dev room to begin with. But you could have made money off it too. It's like, if you just played it, everyone wins. And now you don't play it and everyone's lost, okay? Yeah, it's not that simple. Just take the prototype from your servers, your hard drives, wherever they are, and onto the 3DS shop. It's not that difficult. We have a very little understanding of why they killed the project. Long story short, Keiji Inafune, the creator of Mega Man, he wanted to make a third Legends game from the start. And the executives, the CEOs, the whatever of Capcom never wanted to because of how modest the original's sales were. So even if it seemed that we were getting our way at some point, apparently this was before it had passed through several stages of being accepted, like yeah, game development's complex, but there were several stages of being greenlit that it needed to get past, and I hear most games don't get announced after they reach a certain stage of being set to go and all that. But to have to make this so public before it could even be approved, like they even had the dev room have everyone working on it before it could be approved, and it didn't get approved in the final stages. That was a pretty big risk to put yourselves and put us all in Capcom. And guess what? You lost big time. So if you couldn't tell by the tone of my voice, I really hate Capcom at the moment. I could get into their various transgressions over the past year or so, but that deserves its own video. So in the meantime, I'm just going to tell you what you can do. There is a Facebook community set up titled 100,000 Strong for Mega Man Legends 3. It's I know it sounds like they, by the name alone, it's like if we get 100 likes, then automatically the game's gonna, like, go back into production. I know it doesn't work that way, and just liking it, just signing into the dev room. They kept the dev room open in North America, can you believe that? Just doing that is not going to be enough to catch Capcom's interest. We need to think of more public ways to get their attention. Like write letters or send fan art to their headquarters in Osaka. Obviously it would help a lot more if you could write in Japanese. or do whatever, but or you could even boycott them. That's kind of what I'm doing, but that's really an optional thing. But whatever you do, above all else, don't be a jerk about it. Don't be a troll. We want them to feel like we got their back if they fulfill these requirements. Don't diss them up front or anything. Also, at the same time, I must warn you, I was getting into this pattern a bit. Don't obsess over this revival effort, okay? Like, the fact that the community has been going so strong, so constant for the past half a year now, it really speaks to the fact that they're in this for the long haul. But if this is getting too much to you, like, go find some other interests. Like, even if it's other video game franchises to be a fan of. Like, spread yourself around if it gets too much for you to handle. Whilst at the same time, keep your eyes on the prize, but don't keep your eyes on the prize. I guess what I'm trying to say is, Capcom sucks. But that's a story for another day. This This is Kevin. You are the Resistance.